work? How do you use Instaproofs to convert money into power for the people that you want to back up?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, it's just kind of like the basic things is creating that gallery and
Mm-hmm.
then using the marketing tools that Instaproofs has. So for me, I always call it like a call to action and creating FOMO, right? So the call
Right.
to action is there's a sale, right? And the FOMO is that the sale is for X amount of days. So
Yes.
you have X amount of time to make this happen. And like for me, I like the sweet spot's 10 days. I think 5 days, like the procrastination and it just kind of, 10 days gives them the ability to have life. Like,
Right. Get
yes, I'm
paid.
having a sale, but like, you've got stuff going on and, you'll see the initial email and then it goes out. You might order at the beginning. Some people might order the middle, but most people order right at the end.
Right.
So, for example, in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
so 5 years ago, I flew out to Standing Rock from Hawaii. I had heard all
Remember.
the yeah, there was just a bunch of crazy stuff happening. I was like, you know what? I'm getting on a plane. I want to go document this. I got an invite from another native friend, and we went. And I'm just some guy like me. Yes, okay, I've been doing this for a hot minute, but I'm not. Let's just say, oh, what is his name? What's the guy that? He's an NFL football player with an afro that like got in big trouble for like
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick. That dude raised $50,000, and he's an NFL player. He's an NFL player, raised 50 grand through my sales of like the books and prints. I just did north of like 30,
Oh man.
which to me is like I mean, even if I did like $3,000, that's substantial money. That's $3,000 that the people that I sent it back to at camp didn't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like through Instaproofs, I feel I was able to really like kind of get the word out with the email marketing because I sent it to anyone that's ever been to any of my events.
Right.
It wasn't just like, hey, I'm going to target these people. I'm shooting events all the time, so I think it was a list of over like 40,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
very much
amazing.
doable. And there's also ways that like say you're creating an event and you don't want people to be able to buy prints. Do you know what I mean? Like, hey, here's for the actual client, and I don't want to be selling it to them. You can turn that option off of like not allowing people like there's no prices. It's just a gallery by itself.
Right. Right. That's good for protecting privacy.
Yeah.
Weird custody stuff, all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think a cool from like the consumer side of it, I think that it's cool that like I remember whenever you had those galleries up and like looking through and being like, if I buy this, well, amongst many thoughts I had, one of them was if I buy this, not only am I financially helping, but like I'm gonna have a beautiful photo of real like of history. I'm gonna have a piece of history that I then have the responsibility of choosing like where do I display it and how do I talk about it when people come to my house. And it's cool the ripple effect that it can have as well, not only the financial.
Yeah, and so that's what I did was that like so at first I did prints, right? So I think for it to actually be able to get that kind of number, I had to do my job as a photographer on my end and
Right.
cull really hard, right?
Yeah.
I'm only showing the best of the best. And I'm also rearranging the gallery so that I know that the images that are probably going to sell, you're going to see first,
Yes.
right? So there were a handful of images that I didn't really think, at least to me, it's always surprising like what the client reacts to versus what you think. But there were a
Right.
handful of images I know started selling and they weren't at the front, so I put them towards the front, right?
Okay. Okay.
Um, and then I also use so once the prints were done, then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a limited edition book. I got some sponsors involved with like Artifact Uprising,
Okay.
um, and then I used like the albums options or like the product options and like those are always first, right? So I just created it because before there weren't any products associated with it. You couldn't buy
Right.
files, you couldn't do what my normal things like albums and stuff. But then I had like a limited edition signed book and I put that at the front and then use the gallery to like show exactly what's going to be inside the album.
Okay.
Again, ran a sale, created the FOMO where in the fact that there's X amount of books available, right?
Right. finite.
Yep, exactly. So
That's awesome. So then you, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, folks have to trust you that once the money lands in your account, that you are then going to send it to where you
oh
said you
yeah, I
would
was
send
very
it, right?
transparent through the whole thing. I even like, I think I IG'd like the PayPal that I sent it off to.
Right. I've seen that kind of like
So
social media accountability of screenshots.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I didn't keep any of the money. Now my shipping went up a little bit because basically that was covering like all the prints. There are a
Okay.
couple that I went like a little bit into, but it's because someone out of the blue decided to order like a larger print, you know?
Okay.
But for the most part, the way my shipping works usually covers the shipping and the cost of prints from my printer to them.
Right.
So what I'm charging in terms of actual prints is all 100% profit. So I was able to pass that off to them.
That's awesome.